We've looked at how computers store numbers. We've looked at how computers store words and letters of the alphabet using ASCII. Now let's look at pictures, something a little bit more, maybe more visual. And of course, movies are nothing more than pictures shown one after the other very quickly. So if you can store a picture, you can store a movie just by repeating this process and displaying it very quickly. Let's zoom in on this picture here. Let's go in as far as we can, and you'll notice that it'll start showing us individual pixels, these little squares right here. So if I click my magnifying glass and select that kind of a bluish color there, and click to get more information, it's going to show me, and hopefully you can read this okay, it's going to show me there is red, green, and blue in that pixel. That's how light works. On monitors, it basically gives you a red, a green, and a blue LED, and it basically varies the amount of those three in order to make light to dark. This one has 151 out of 255 red. It has 191 out of 255 green, and 191 out of 255 blue. Now I stress that 255 because if you go 0 to 255, you'll notice that's one of our numbers that are very easy to store with computers. It's a power of 2. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. And 0 to 255 gives us 256 values. So it conveniently stores that using a single byte. Down here, you're going to see another kind of description of this, and this looks like it's the code, but this is the same red, green, blue using hexadecimal numbers, and that's why we learned about hex, is that you're going to see these working with any kind of graphics or Photoshop. You're going to see these numbers. 97 is not actually 97 because in that numbering system there's 16 values. So 97 is actually 151. You can do the math if you'd like to convert 151 back to binary and then split those up in groups of 4, and you'll see eventually that becomes 9 and a 7. This value is 191 BF, and then since blue has the same value, it's also BF. So frequently with Photoshop and any kind of graphic software, they use 97BF BF to describe a color, not red, green, and blue, although that's what you're doing. They don't use decimal numbers, they use hexadecimal numbers. So what the computer basically does, in one long row of colors, at the very beginning it says how many, let's see, I'm going to go to image size here, how many rows and columns are in this picture. Let's do this in pixels here. That's going to make more sense. Well, let me do canvas size. Actually, it was right there, and I just missed it. It was right there, but we'll go back. Okay, so there's 722 pixels and 1,084 pixels tall. So when this picture is displayed, it basically stores 720 colors, and then another 720 colors, and then another 7, without any interruption. It does that 1,084 times. 1,084 times, it gives you 720 colors. Now, so at the very beginning of the file, it says this is how often you need to start a new row, 720. Every 720, start a new row, and then just keep reading those numbers and just keep displaying those colors. And if you do that exactly to this little dimension, it will look just like this when you're done. Okay, and that's basically all you need to know about pictures. Pictures are stored, each pixel gets stored in a red, green, and blue value. And if you think about it, if it goes up to 255, that requires 8 bits. So basically an RGB value is 24 bits for every color, for every dot, I'm sorry, for every pixel you have 24 bits. 8 of those being red, 8 of those being for green, 8 of those being for blue. And they just list those 8 in a row, and then the next pixel, and the next pixel, and they do that literally a million times in a row until it's stored all the data for, and of course pictures are getting very large. The resolution is on these modern cameras is 24 megapixels, so it shows you how many millions of pixels are in each photograph, each of those being 3 bits apiece. So that's a quick look on how computers store pictures, and then just by repeating that process very quickly and showing you many pictures in a row, you have video. So that includes how pictures and movies are stored on a computer.